Hi guys, today I will be sharing how to make honey cake. First, preheat the oven at 180 degrees. We need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, half a cup of packed brown sugar, but I'm using dark brown sugar here. Three tablespoons of honey, 3 eggs, 3 3/4 cup of plain flour, and half a cup of butter. To begin, we're gonna crack the 3 eggs. Then add the 1/4 cup of sugar and half a cup of packed brown sugar. Using a whisk, just beat the ingredients together. Then add the honey. Then add the butter. So I've got a pot of simmering water on here. On top of that, I'm gonna place my mixture. I'm gonna continue to whisk this until the butter is fully melted. So the butter is fully melted. I'm gonna continue to whisk this for about 1 to 2 minutes. After about 1 to 2 minutes, I'm gonna add the baking soda. And then again, continue whisking for another 1 to 2 minutes. Now, we're gonna take this out of the heat. And then we're gonna add half of the plain flour. And mix. Once the flour is fully combined with the liquid ingredients, we can add the rest of the flour. We need to be able to form a dough, still slightly sticky, but you can hold it without sticking to your hands. So this is now ready. So lightly flour a parchment paper and then just dump all the cake dough. We're gonna form this into a log. And then we will divide this into 7 equal pieces. Now, we'll get a parchment paper, lightly flour your work surface, just like this. Then get one part of the dough. Using a rolling pin, we're gonna flatten this. About 1 millimeter thickness. And then I'm gonna be using a cake ring to get a round shape. But if you don't have a cake ring, you can use springform pan or a plate and a knife to cut the desired shape that you like. Don't discard the trimmings. We're gonna bake this as well. And then we will transfer this into a cake pan or cookie sheet. And then we're gonna bake this in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 8 minutes. So I'm working on the next one. We need to be able to get 7 layers. And this is what it looks like after baking. Let it cool down completely. So I finished baking the 7 layers. We're gonna set this aside for a while. We're gonna work on with the trimmings first. I'm gonna use the food processor to crumble this. But if you don't have a food processor, you can use a Ziploc bag and a bottle to do this process, or rolling pin. So this is what it looks like. 600 grams or ml of thickened cream or whipping cream. I'm using store-bought caramel or dulce de leche, but if you can find this, you can make your own by boiling condensed milk for 3 hours. So in a bowl, we're gonna put in the dulce de leche or caramel. Using a whisk, we're just gonna beat this a little bit just to break it up. And then we're gonna add in the 600 ml of thickened cream or whipping cream. Then it's a matter of whipping this until we reach soft peak stage. Do not overmix this or else the cream will split. And this is now ready. We are now ready to assemble the cake. So I'm using a cake ring lined with parchment paper. So put in your first layer. Then add some cream. As little or as much as you like. Then add your second layer. Then cream again. So we're gonna continue doing this until we finish all the 7 layers of the cake. So this is now my last layer. And then we're gonna place this in the fridge to set for about 2 hours. So after 2 hours, we're ready to unmold the cake. So we're gonna add a little bit more of the icing that we have. It doesn't need to be perfect because we're gonna cover this with the cake crumbs. We're gonna do the top as well. Now it's time to cover the entire cake with the cake crumbs. So just put the cake crumbs on the side of the cake. If you miss some spot, you can go back to it later. So I'm now putting crumbs on the top. And just to add a little bit of decoration, I made some fondant bees. This is optional, you don't have to do this. And this is the completed look. Ideally, you would wait the next day to cut the cake so it gives the time for the cake to absorb the cream and for the cake to soften up a little bit, but I can't wait. I have to show you straight away. So this is what it looks like when you cut the cake. Again, if you can wait the next day, do it. This is so good. I can guarantee that you're gonna love this, and it's so easy to make. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.